Welcome to Ghostpia Season 1. This is the demo version. It caught my attention because anime. I won't deny that. Now, first things first, this is supposed to have a certain visual effect over the screen to begin with. I have turned that off to begin with because it would hurt my eyes a little bit over time. The visual effects is the CRT effect right here. You can see it's not bad. It's not the worst in the world, but it's just like, you know what? For the sake of the video and for the sake of this, I'm going to turn this off. Just because I would like to be able to read what's going on. Well, read to you what is going on. But without further ado, let us get in. There's a new person in town. I'd like to start reading from this chapter. It's obviously a sort of visual novel style game, but you know what? That's the type of thing you expect when you come to this channel. I'll be using the controller for this because why not? It's been a long journey. It's dark by the time I get out of the station. A cold breeze blows and I suddenly want to go home. This is a ghost town. It's certainly lonely enough to have earned that name. Despite my reluctance, I quickly remember why I came here. To fulfill her wish. It's a promise I have to keep. I whisper to myself, I've come to see you. Now, I don't know if this studio have actually done any anime before or anything, but they have definitely got the animation and the anime style down for sure. And I love the CRT effect that they have going, like with the whole TV thing. And I expect this to be a game that messes with you completely. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some 4th wall breaking stuff that goes on at some point. But it's super cute, and I was like, you know what? I like the look of this demo. It was part of the last Steam Next Fest, and I thought, I'll download it. I'll have a look. And it's taking me this long to get around to it. I know. I've been very busy. It's been my dream to dream. Lately, I've been sleeping all the time. But I haven't dreamed at all. I want to dream. I want to escape from reality and go elsewhere. But no matter how much I sleep, the world of dreams just won't welcome me. Have I ever even had a dream? I'm not quite sure myself. And thus, I'm on the precipice of awakening. My body slowly floats up from the darkness of dreamless sleep, reminding me that I do have a body, and I'm not just part of the puddle of dream goo. But I want to sleep longer. I grab a hold of sleep's tail and try to sink myself back into the goo. When I let out a yawn and open my eyelids, I recognize the sound of a ringing phone. So that's what woke me up. A trifling realization sends sparks flying within my brain, instantly casting aside my drowsiness. I've woken up once again. My heart feels cold, heavy, as if someone had poured icy water into the empty hole in my chest. I look outside the window. It's almost dawn. Everyone's starting to go home. The air's hurried and restless, but also somehow satisfied and overflowing with hope. And then my heart gets another degree colder. Let's go. I quickly grab a change of clothes, put on my coat, and head to the door leading out of my one-room apartment. I wince at the cold sensation of the metal doorknob when I turn it. Once I walk through the hall and down the stairs, the door there leads outside. Oh, aren't we adorable? It's the same outside as ever. Big snow covers the ground, like always. Good thing I brought my boots. A cursory glance at a nearby brick fence reveals graffiti in a language foreign to me. Behind it, in the distance, are buildings covered in pastel, candy-like colours, except they're now faded, dull and ambiguous. There aren't many tall buildings. What does stand out though is a cylinder thrusting forth from the middle of a town, as well as the peculiar silhouette of a church in the distance that almost looks like it's put an onion on top. In any case, I've got the feeling that this isn't the place where I belong. This is a ghost town. That's the missile we saw in the intro. Someone decided it'd be called that. Or rather, that's all anyone's ever called it. This is a ghost town after all. There's not much else here, so if you're not going to name the town after its inhabitants, what else are you going to call it? It's ghosts that live here. Or rather, that's all anyone's ever called them. I think that's the only thing they're comfortable calling themselves since they live forever and are active at night. They really are ghost-like in that sense. But I guess since the like part is off-putting, they've settled on just straight up calling themselves ghosts. Naturally, I'm a ghost myself. As dawn breaks and the ghosts go home, I head out into the ghost town. The horizon's starting to turn blue, so I'm sure it'll be dawn soon enough. I love this time of night, especially the sky. I do realise that I'm kind of basic for liking something as commonplace as the sky. But watching the pitch black expanse gradually fade to navy and then to blue makes me feel, somehow, both excited and relaxed. I take a step forward and get confused. Why was I sounding so gloomy? I often space out and lose track of what I was thinking. I've been like this for longer than I can remember. I feel like a broken machine. If only I could keep these sad thoughts away. Not once have I ever been able to stop them. I start digging through my memory to try and remember what started that gloomy train of thought and walk outside, half asleep. My feet just started walking on their own. Someone once said that the subconscious part of our mind is larger than the conscious one. I passed through the small gate of the similarly small apartment complex. There are many footprints left in the snow. But they're all footprints heading home in the opposite direction that I'm headed. It seems like that lonely thought has set my memory into motion. I remember now, once again I failed to dream. Then I got a phone call from that girl, which woke me up. I couldn't sit still, so I went outside. I wish I didn't remember that. But I suppose when you've forgotten something, it's human nature to try and remember it. The need to remember may not be at the top of the hierarchy of needs, but it's definitely pretty high up. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't, I muttered to myself as I tread through the snow. When I reach the road, the snow has already been cleared, making it much easier to walk. There's not another soul on the road, but I can feel the gazes of the ghosts from inside their buildings. I can't say I like it, but it's better than seeing them face to face. There are many ghosts in this town, but as someone who currently doesn't have any friends, my one and only hobby is to walk around town early in the morning like this. It's nostalgic, melancholic, and yet somehow exciting. That's how I always feel when I go for these walks. I walk through the shabby backdrop of the city streets until I turn the corner, and the scenery changes ever so slightly. I've reached the plaza in the middle of town. There are benches placed here and there, as well as the signboard of a cafe with a full view at the plaza. But it's not exactly a place with a calm, relaxing atmosphere. and that's due to the overwhelming presence of something that's the opposite of calm and relaxing. Yeah, that giant missile in the middle of the square, obviously. It's just clearly just there. In the center of the plaza, the indiscernible stone wreckage of what probably used to be a fountain, and sticking out of it is a gigantic metal cylinder with fins. It's been here for ages. Its silhouette is simple and clear, so too is its purpose: destruction. Complete and utter destruction. There's no mistaking it. It's a missile. I have no way of knowing what sort of missile it is, but the fact of the matter is that it is a missile. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't know how long this town's history goes, but ever since it became a ghost town, the missile's been there. Apparently. Since it hasn't exploded, it's probably a dud. And strangely enough, the missile is packed with the names of the town's ghosts etched all over its surface. Like some sort of memorial. Naturally, my name's on there too. I have no memory of writing it there, and yet, there it is. Like a signature on a shady contract I've been deceived into signing. Maybe I'd be a little proud to have my name here if I liked this town, but since I don't, it doesn't make me happy at all. Instead, it makes me feel like I've been bound to this depressing place, so if anything, I find it disgusting. Sukiyaki kick! I take 2 or 3 steps back, get a running start, and give the missile a good kick. Specifically, I aim at the spot where my name is written. Someone speaks up from behind me. You idiot! What if it explodes? Shocked, I turn around to see a red-headed girl I recognize. She's the person, or rather, a ghost I'd rather not run into. Eep. That's one thing I haven't forgotten. What? It's not like I did anything. She may not have done anything, but I have, so I don't know what to say. Obviously, I'm not expecting her to do anything in retaliation, and it's not like I hate her or anything. But I don't know if what I've done maybe was some kind of taboo. Ow, ow. So all I can do is let out a pathetic groan. Hey, wait! I turn around and make a break for it. I run shamelessly, waving around my arms and legs. Anya. That redhead appeared right behind me, so I have no choice but to make a loop around the town. That's roughly shaped like a circle in order to get back home. I try to run fast, but my body just doesn't feel like it. I keep tripping and almost cry every time, but before I realize it, I'm back home. When I close the door behind me, I finally snap out of it. I can almost feel the wind blowing through my stomach. Now that I think about it, I haven't eaten anything in a long time. Well, it's not like I'm gonna die or anything. When I toss my coat off by the door, it starts melting from the bottom hem up. Like when an orange peel eats through a piece of styrofoam. It bubbles, melts, and forms droplets. Oh, that's interesting. The boots I toss by the bed melt too, leaving behind useless heels and soles. And by the time I toss myself onto the bed, even my feet start to melt. Even ghosts feel pain. Once the skin melts off, it exposes muscle that gets dry and stiff upon contact with the air. It hurts. So we actually are a ghost. I thought it was just a metaphor, like I only come out at the early hours of the day or at night, so I'm a ghost to this town. We actually are a ghost. Holy crap, okay. The smallest flicker of air in the room causes me unbearable pain, as if rubbing irritants into open wounds. Ghosts can't survive the morning sun. The reason I kept tripping over myself on the way here may have been a result of losing part of my leg muscles. Thinking about that possibility helps distract me a little from the pain. But it's not as much of a problem as it may seem. It's no big deal, really. Nothing dies in this town, just leave it alone for a while and everything will be back to how it should be. To sleep is to temporarily lend your body to the darkness of slumber. By the time I wake up, my body will be back to normal. My legs will have healed and won't hurt anymore. Hopefully. This sure hurts. Even her hair is melting. I sneak up, even though I know there's nobody there to respond. Oh, I speak up, sorry, even though I know there's nobody there to respond. Well, it'd be nice if there was someone to respond. Someone to sympathize with my pain. Maybe I'm a little lonely. Did a teardrop fall onto my pillow? Or was it just my imagination? I wonder if the whole reason they're all ghosts is due to that missile and these people are just stuck. These ghosts are stuck in a never-ending loop. My eyes fall shut before I can find out. I'm liking this premise so far. I can see a town off into the distance. I'm heading there at full speed. I like trains. To left and right is nothing but an endless snow desert. Up ahead, railroad tracks stretch far into the distance. Behind me, the railroad ties blur together, which is a sign that we must be getting pretty fast. We must be going pretty fast, sorry. At this speed, I should be feeling the wind onto my skin, but I don't feel a thing on my body. It's only now that I realize I don't even have a body at all. Without a body, I exist as nothing more than a perspective that's somehow chugging along the railroad like a train. Without a body, I don't get tired, so I just aimlessly watch the scenery flow by. Once I'm about a few kilometers away from the town, I finally recognize it. That's the town I live in. That's a bit of a relief. At least it's not some strange, unknown territory. Before long, my trained self will arrive at the station. But as I gradually slow down, my body doesn't feel a thing. Not even momentum. Suddenly, my perspective switches as if someone had turned the tuning dial on an old analog radio. Now, don't get me wrong, but I know from anime, as well as also just some video games as well. Like, for example, what was it? I forget what it's called now, but I played it on stream once. It was it was based in Tokyo, and you went around, and it was like you were purging yokai and stuff, and it was really cool. A lot of the times, trains are likened these days, like I say, more modern times at least in media, to like say otherworldly things, like with train stations, especially like the afterworld and stuff like that. Well, the other world. And death and yokais and stuff like that too. So this isn't too crazy what's going on. My new perspective is facing the doors inside a train. Ghostwire Tokyo, that's the game. That's the game I was thinking of. I'm already at the station. The doors open automatically. There stands a girl. She pulls the corners of her mouth to the sides as if to say bleh before telling me, "Welcome." Welcome? I've lived here for a long time, so I don't need anyone to welcome me. What's even going on? I tried to tell her those things, but I can't speak at all. Because I'm a train. By the time I wake up, it's completely dark outside. Ghosts are nocturnal creatures. And thus the town's bustling with liveliness. No dreams again. The pain in my legs and the damage to my clothes have both vanished as if nothing had happened. I'm just a little relieved. I think I woke up much earlier than usual. I check outside the window again as part of my daily habit to see how much time is left before sunrise. We need to talk. I haven't seen that electric bulletin board before. It looks pretty haphazardly made too. There's wires poking out and duct tape stuck on here and there. It's probably handmade. It's been lazily stuck on the wall of a building facing my apartment. I've got a hunch as to who put it there. Almost everything in the world can be fixed with a little duct tape. I can still vividly remember her voice, but maybe that's because I actually heard her voice just yesterday. Ring, ring. The phone starts to ring right on cue. I check to see if my socks are on and if my boots and coat are there. I comb my hair with my fingers, but it'll probably just get messy again. It's not like I've got time to fix it properly, though. I'm off. I turn the doorknob and pull hard. What? When I open the door, I see a ghost standing in the common area of the apartment hallway. Is she a grown-up child? Or a childish adult? By appearances, she could go either way. But if you ask me, I know she's the former. I think she's beautiful. Yoo-hoo! Even if she starts talking, she doesn't stop filing her nails. She's number 2 on my list of people I'd rather not see right now. If it's not obvious, number 1 on the list is that red-headed girl, the ghost named Anya. Pacifica. Long time no see, Sayako. When I hear her somewhat friendly tone, it takes everything I have to keep my mind from unraveling. Pacifica's very smart. I get the feeling that all this was part of those girls' plan to get to me. Those two know me. Probably have for far longer than I've known them. I need to go on a walk. I know I can't oppose her, but I know I can't just not oppose her either. Listen to what I have to say, and you can go on as many walks as you'd like. I'm getting dizzy. Pacifica speaks softly but has a firm fortitude. I don't think anyone can meaningfully oppose her in any way. The phone keeps ringing behind the door I just shut. It's kind of nauseating. But I'm sure you'll find what I have to say quite interesting. It's not like I don't want to hear it, but why me? Please don't get the wrong idea. I just need help. Help? Pacifica takes a step forward, closing the distance between us. My body tenses up. I can't be sure she isn't carrying a knife. Not like she isn't allowed to. Whatever. I'll just put up with it for now. It's not like I'll die or anything. As I let my thoughts run wild, I suddenly smell something sweet, something relaxing. A new ghost has arrived. Pacifica brings her face up close and whispers in my ear. It sends shivers down my spine, blowing away both the nausea and the sleepiness. Well, there goes my theory. If new ghosts can arrive, then this isn't just a town where the missile exploded and everyone is just in a loop. A new ghost. Pacifica's breath tickles my earlobe. The tips of my toes tingle and my shoulders freeze in place. Oh yeah, I guess ghosts breathe too, huh? Shh, not so loud. It's still a secret. Don't whisper in my ear. Like I said, not so loud. Pacifica's only whispering in my ear for secrecy's sake, but my ears are so sensitive. I can't focus on what she's saying. Oh, okay, I'll listen. I'll hear you out at least. Really? Thank you. I thought you might say that. May I come into your room? Let's have a little private talk, woman to woman. Pacifica gently smiles from ear to ear like a flower blooming. I feel guilty thinking that there's nothing about me that deserves a smile like that. I've got an inferiority complex about how I'll never be able to smile like that. Those two thoughts gouge out my heart. Pardon the intrusion. So Sayako is a very common name for like ghosts as well, or like, well, ghost protagonists at least. Because I haven't even locked the door yet, Pacifica opens it on her own and starts to walk in, but then stops in place. Whoa. But Pacifica? I mustn't forget my ninja manners. She's a ninja? Of course she is. Ninja? Before she crosses the threshold into my room, Pacifica places her hands together and bows. Oh. I get it. I get it. What's up with that? I heard that this was a ninja custom. That's news to me. No way. Apparently I became known as a ninja in this town without even knowing about it. That's kind of concerning in its own right, but for some reason it feels oddly satisfying to see Pacifica blush. It's a pleasant sight, I guess. Upon entering the room, Pacifica makes a beeline for the phone and picks it up. She simply says, "Yes, it's me. Yes, that's right. Yes. Please wait. Goodbye." And then hangs up. I brought you something. Sorry, but could you boil some water? I place the pot on the stove and return to the table. Pacifica takes a bottle of instant coffee out of her handbag. Ooh, coffee! She then takes out a tin of preserved biscuits. Ah. What's wrong, Sayako? I was thinking that this is what I had in for my last meal too. You mean when Anya made a mess on the crotch of her plain jean overalls? Probably, yeah. How long ago was that? No idea. Well, I haven't had much of an appetite. It's not like I'll die anyway. My goodness. As I pour the water, I listen to Pacifica scold me, saying that I should take better care of myself and that it's not a matter of living or dying, and soon enough 2 cups of coffee are ready. She unseals the biscuit tin with a tug of the pull tab. Seems like a fairly decent meal to me. I wonder if they're all from like different nations and stuff, like say for example like Pacifica is maybe potentially Russian or something, or Slovakian at least. And Anya could be like European, like maybe she's German or Swedish or whatever. So... Because, like, the main character, Sayako, is Japanese, clearly. So, about that new ghost? I didn't realise the town could even get new ghosts. I do like the soundtrack, though. It's pretty cool. Pretty cute. It fits. For now. Of course it can't, or at least it shouldn't. That's what makes it such a mystery. The town has always had a set number of ghosts, 1,024 to be exact. That number's never increased nor decreased. Nobody's ever said anything about it, but I had figured it was some sort of eternal rule. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I feel like adding one more ghost won't make much of a difference. Maybe someone decided 1,025 was a nicer number. Or maybe one of the ghosts has moved on. She's a girl, around your age, Sayako. I see. For some reason, my heart skips a beat. A second later, my chest feels somewhat warm, somewhat numb. In fact, like, I just remember Psycho as well. Literally, the other game I did not too long ago, the Giantess dating sim, she was called Sayako. In one word, I feel fidgety. And they tend to have long black hair as well, so, you know, it fits. So anyway, I thought we should throw her a welcome party. Pacifica just couldn't resist laughing. It looks like... It looks as if she had read my mind. I will give credit where credit is due. I do not believe that the original creators of this are of English natural language. Like, English is their first language, should I say. And that's fine. So there will be some things, but it's just going to mess with my dyslexia a little bit. It's like she knows me better than I know myself. But does she know what this feeling is exactly? We have to throw her one, especially due to the circumstances. What circumstances? The church is examining her. She'll most likely be tired once they release her, so we have to show her a fun time to make up for it. The church. The town's biggest congregation of ghosts. It also serves as a peacekeeping organization. Headed by a priest, they do policing and politics, and thus the priest is more like the town mayor. Very few ghosts know what goes on in the church, but Pacifica's a pretty influential ghost as far as they go. So I guess she got that information from an inside source. The church still does things like that, huh? Some sort of immigration inspection, I suppose? But is that really necessary? It sounds like they're just doing it because they want to. I hate the church. Particularly their attitude. Even after the townspeople became town ghosts and overcame death, the church still wants to control people under the guise of politics. It's almost like the ghosts are pretending to be alive, and it's so forced. I feel like there's other things that bother me about them, but the anger makes my head feel hazy. Like, yeah, my head always feels hazy, but you know what I mean. So I can't even remember what it is I'm angry about. Dee? You still hate the church, I see. Well, I do too. Those guys are poop. Church is poop. Poop is church. The two of us laugh, like two boys in uniform merrymaking while oozing with pure, unadulterated youth. Youth. That's not exactly a word that I can relate to. So, Sayako, will you help me out? Okay. I'll help if I can. Thank you. I'm so happy Where? When Pacifica hugged me tight, my body stiffens. There's nothing I can do. I figured I needed some sort of opportunity to do this, so I've been waiting for a long time. I'm so happy I could talk to you like this. Pacifica talks earnestly between sobs. That's right. While she may act overly mature sometimes, that's all it is. An act. Everyone who's close to her knows this. Huh. I remember more than I thought. I feel happy that I remember, but it also feels odd that she's got some attachment to me. It's a swell of emotions like a spinning barbershop pole. Pacifica's as gentle as ever. She hasn't changed, but what about me? I feel like I've changed a little. The same way milk changes after its expiration date. A change you can smell with a single whiff. I can't go back to being me. I suppose that's how I describe the way I feel. I guess I was just looking for an excuse. You've always been so close, I just needed a little courage to speak out to you. Ow. Ow! There's nothing I can say. Being touched makes me feel safe. I don't want to let you go ever again. But at the same time, it also makes me feel anxious. After all, I had no idea how I could ever replace someone who makes me feel this happy. If I get too comfortable taking advantage of her kindness, she might start to hate me. And I don't want her to hate me. I can't find the words to say. With just a simple hug, all of these feelings are revolving around inside me, and I'm just so afraid that I end up crushing this moment into dust. And just like that, the happiness has faded away completely. leaving nothing but coarse anxiety coursing through my heart. Am I just not used to dealing with kindness? Pacifica suddenly lets go, and for a second I fear that my worst fear had come true, but the reality is slightly different. Sorry, Sayako, but, What is it? Are you showering properly? You, kinda smell like spoiled milk. Oh, now that you mention it, I haven't showered since the other day. Which other day? You know, when Anya spilled coffee in those ugly overalls of hers? The poop talked! Pacifica leans backwards away from me. There's a look of fear on her face that she probably wouldn't want anyone else to see normally. Well, I mean, if nobody's gonna come see me and the air's not humid, then why bother showering? What happened to I don't want to let you go ever again? Who asked you, you 100-year-old poop? It's been 100 years? The very concept of a calendar has disappeared from this town, so time has become incredibly ambiguous. Individually, a day is simple to track, but as the days pile up, it's impossible to keep track of months and years. You'd have an easier time counting the sand in the desert of snow. In the desert of snow surrounding this town, one grain at a time. If you think about it, I suppose it's not normal to go this long without showering. Huh. Maybe I really have changed. Am I trying to reclaim myself? Take a shower now. Oh, okay. My fear of being separated from Pacifica turns into fear of Pacifica herself. I stop thinking, grab a towel, and head to the bathroom as quickly as possible. Hey, at least I still have hot water running here.